Wow. That was the question that you asked. Of all the secrets of life from the beginning of time till now, the answer you wanted to know is... All right, welcome to another episode. Today I have with me Enjy, Kiwan. Is it Kiwan?
Yes, sir.
Kiwan. Hi.
Hi. How you
Hi.
doing?
Hi.
Any last words?
Yeah. So look, the way I do things is I don't like to get super deep and super, personal straight away. So we'll start, really light and let everyone get to know you. So what's your deepest fear?
What? I thought you said you're not going to start deep.
Yeah, well, I lied. So,
Death.
Death? Very interesting, because we'll get back on that. What about death?
Freaks the shit out of me.
Okay.
Whether it's me dying or
that door dying, the person that closing the door dying. Yeah.
Or someone I love dying.
Okay, that's a very good...
I live in that fear.
That will kind of lead us on to...
you dying after a few hours, in a few hours,
yeah, because,
up in the sky.
Might as well tell people. So we're going with Farid Laughter to fly later.
Yeah.
Which will be really fun. And I gave you a little insight about what's going to happen, and you're a little bit nervous and a little bit scared.
Yes.
You shouldn't
because I don't know why. And I'm a yes girl.
Yeah.
So when you told me on the phone, I was super hyped and I said yes. And now I'm just thinking, oh my God.
So you pretty much say yes to most opportunities in life?
Yes, I do.
Borrow some money?
Yes.
Great. I'm going to change the list of questions that I had here for you. So, okay, let's talk about mental health.
Okay. Can I just get something out of my eyes first?
Yeah, do you need a shovel?
So I have these fake lashes on, and one keeps going into my eye.
Okay, yeah. So guys, for those of you who have taken your time out to sit down, get all your plans out of the way to have a really interesting interview, we're going to talk about getting a fake lash out of her eye. See, it's not very superficial at all, and it's not like that at all. I mean, see, people don't know you the way that I do, because they're like, oh yeah, it's all about, fixing your mic, putting it back towards your face, because now you're recording the corner of the room. Okay. Lift it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, like they don't know you like me. They're like, oh, she's superficial. It's all about glamour and that. But like, for example, let me ask you a random question. What's the...
Don't ask me about a president of a country or something.
What's the chemical compound for fire?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water vapor, oxygen.
Yeah, you see? So a lot of people wouldn't have known that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? They don't know deep about you. So there's so much more than that I can see. Back to the mental health. So I saw a post on your Insta. This was before you followed me back, and I was just sitting there going, "Well, this is a bit rude." even though you answered my message on Instagram and had the bloody cheek to ask me what's your Instagram when I was like, I'm
sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
I'm sorry.
No,
so I just want to make a confession.
Okay.
So I am extremely bad with WhatsApp, with Instagram, with messages, with calls. I'm just not good. Although I might be on my phone for a very long time. Yeah. But I can't manage replying back to messages or doing. Like, you'd ask me a question, I'd say, I'm going to VN you, give me 5 minutes.
What's a VN?
Voice note.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm really bad. So I just want to apologize publicly to every single person that has messaged and hasn't gotten a reply.
And is still waiting a year later for a reply.
Still waiting, yeah.
But is it kind of like you choose who you can be bothered to reply to, or you're bad to everyone?
It just depends when you message me. You might, for example, I have a friend of mine, she messaged me once, and I did what she asked me for immediately, and she's like, wow, you're so efficient. I'm like, usually I'm not. It just happened that you messaged me at
the time where I was already holding the tennis racket, and she was on the other side of the court going, can you serve, please? Just in which, okay, cool. You serve the ball, Okay, fine.
So that's what it is.
So
you just have to choose
what is this yearly funk that you go through? Because, I mean, I saw you talking about it. Didn't get through the whole video. Pretty boring, really, to be honest. No. So, I mean, a lot of people, and this is the thing with mental health, because there's so many levels of mental health. And, it's very hard to kind of, because everybody goes through something.
Yeah.
But you don't notice other people's struggles or other people's problems because you think, oh, it's only happening to me and no one else is going through this. And when really a lot of us are going through the same stuff but deal with it different or show it different or let it affect us different. So what about this whole year thing?
So this yearly funk is something that I didn't know I'm going through.
Okay.
It just happened that I'm very close to my father.
Okay.
And whenever I would talk to him, he told me that every year around my birthday, so my birthday December 8th, November, I just sort of question my entire existence.
Okay. My everyday.
But not in a positive way. It's like you beat yourself down.
Yeah.
However, that was also the time where I quit my job from I quit investment banking, and it just basically for me, it's a very, I won't say sad period, but there's a lot of tears involved.
Do you usually cry a lot?
I used to be a crier all the time.
One of those girls that a guy can't dump because she'd be like,
I've never been dumped.
You try dumping so many times, you cry and you're like, oh, all right, just to guilt me back into this relationship again and again and again. Okay,
so so I would question my dreams. So I am an extremely ambitious person, and I have FOMO. And there was one point where I sort of didn't have FOMO from anything, and I was very happy because that means I won't have to be everywhere and want to be everywhere at the same time. But then I realized that me having FOMO is actually what makes me so ambitious, because I always want to do more and be more. So at that period of time, I lose interest in people. I lose interest in life. I lose interest in my dream. I forget what I've done in my life. And I remember, I think 2 years ago when I went through that funk, I decided, I don't know if you remember when the highlights came out on Instagram. And I decided to just put them together. And at that point, that was what lifted me up. I put them all and I was like, oh my God, I've actually accomplished a lot in a short period of time, despite what I think of myself or what I think I've done. And then I just get out of it. I mean, once you go down, you have no other way but to go up.
After your birthday?
It's very close to my birthday. It depends also how we celebrate my birthday.
Do you think it's the reassurance that comes with a birthday, that kind of everybody's kind of focusing on you and all that stuff, and you're just like, oh, people do love me. I'm not alone.
It's very sad, but I'm a kind of person that constantly needs appreciation. You constantly need to tell me that I'm a good person.
You're doing really well in this interview, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Like, really? Already?
Wow.
So I remember I used to work at Thomson Reuters, and I loved my job very much because I sort of had a show, an online show with all the investment bankers, and I was writing about the markets and whatnot. And it was constantly, thank you, Enjy, so much. Thank you, Enjy. This is amazing. Enjy, you're incredible. I would never leave my desk. I would go to the office at 8 o'clock. I would leave at 6. I would have my lunch on the desk. It was
constant reinforcement.
It was and I love that. Even at home, even with my parents, with my friends. And I think when my birthday comes, when people celebrate, and the messages I get sent, this is what takes me back up. It's so sad. I sound honestly I'm 36 years old, and I still act like a child when it comes to that.
This is the thing that I was talking to my friend about before. So I don't know my age until somebody asks me every couple of years. So I got to about 22, 23, and I was just like, I don't care anymore.
So how old are you now?
I know now because somebody asked me 3 days ago, so I'm 38.
Okay.
But if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have had to calculate it.
Really?
Like, it's not a joke. Like, I honestly stopped caring. I stopped celebrating birthdays, and because look, we're only following a calendar given to us by the Abyssinians and all that, people who decided to start putting time on things and whatever. So I really feel like age is the energy you feel. Yeah. So however you portray yourself, I mean, I'm in better shape than most 20-year-olds that I know.
Yeah.
I have more energy.
He was in a sleeveless shirt when I came in.
It was a string vest, a Jamaican string vest with the flag.
It was a wife beater.
Do you know I wear that wife beater to the gym? Like, I don't care. Do you know why? I'll elaborate on that just so you don't think I was trying
I want to show my biceps and my triceps and my chest and my shoulders. And
I'm glad you saw all of them. But that's not what it is. What it is when we first started doing this, I used to just wear the shirt that I'm wearing and start setting up. So I come half an hour before everyone start helping Benga set up and everything. And I would sweat so much. So I remember, so I remember one episode I was saying something and I went like that. And then I had my hands up for so long and I was saying something really important, so I couldn't edit it out.
Oh,
so I was just like, yeah, that's not happening.
We have a caption for that episode.
Yeah, right. So now literally I just come in slippers and like shorts and t-shirt, get everyone ready, and then
wife beater.
There's nothing wrong with a wife beater. I think that you'll find wife beaters are pretty special.
Okay.
Not wife beaters, the people, not people who beat wives. The best. Yeah. So okay, where did you go from being an investor? What made you go? Okay, because it's quite a secure life. There's money in it. You're doing well in it. You're also, don't take this the wrong way, we're going to talk about feminism later. You're also a woman doing really well in a
male-dominated industry,
man's world, boys club kind of thing.
Yeah.
So where did you go from getting there to be like, nice going to
أيوة أنا عايزة أبقى ستار.
Kardashian episode 1.
That's my nickname, by the way, on my husband's phone, Star.
Oh, really?
So as a child, when I was a child, I was constantly acting in front of the mirror. I was an only child for 10 years. And my parents got divorced a few times, 3 times. Okay. And
wait, the same parents got divorced 3 times?
The same parents got divorced. You know, in Islam, you get 3 times.
Yeah, you're like, all right, let's think about it again. Let's try again.
Last time I'm like, that's it, you're done. All right, you're done.
I can't deal with this anymore.
So Oprah was the person that actually got me out of my funk as a child, and not Oprah herself, but the idea of her. So what I would do is I would pretend I'm Oprah, and I would get my mom's blow dryer brush, and I would say, I would like to invite Enjy Kiwan on stage. We need to talk about her parents. And Enjy would come up, sit next to Oprah, and then I would shift, and I would talk myself out of it. And then I would clap, thank you, Oprah, so much, and I would cry and whatever. And I realized, wow, having a voice and being able to change people's lives is remarkable. Yeah. And I really wanted to do that when I grow up. Simultaneously as well, that I was constantly, my dad would tell you the story better, I always wanted to help.
It's a guest caller or something.
So I call him,
Baba, tell me the story. I've made you tell 100 times to everyone.
I would constantly want to help the less fortunate. I remember the first time we ever went to Egypt. We were walking in the street and there was a beggar in the street, and my dad takes out money and goes, I'm like, Baba, min di ummak? So he's like, يا بنتي أمي إزاي أسيبها في الشارع. So he explained the concept of homeless people and stuff, and then I spent the next 4 days in Egypt standing in the street with all my allowance giving to people. Wow. And when I would watch a sad series on TV where they have no money, I would cry and call my dad, please send them money, please send them money. So I grew up, and all I wanted to do as well is to be a philanthropist. And I realized there's only 2 ways. Falafel? Falafel, full tamir. But I realized that to be able to do that, you either need to be really rich or you need to be really famous to be able to get people's money. Anyway, my dad, I remember, so my dad was completely against it. I got offered to model when I was in Italy when I was 15. And I called my dad. I'm like, oh my God, they want me to model, whatever. He's like, nope. Yeah. Came back when I was 18. I actually went to NBC for a financial internship. I was a finance major.
Wait, let's go back a bit. What took you to Italy when you were 15?
No, I was with my mom on vacation. I was with my mom on vacation. And then I remember I was waiting for my interview, and a casting director came to me and he's like, oh, you're here for casting? I'm like, no, I'm here for, the finance department. He's like, no, come for casting. So I called my dad, and my dad was like, أنا عمري ما خليكي تبقي مذيعة. Just get it out of your system. And that was it. It was done.
Translation for those English watchers: I will never let you succeed in what you want to do.
No. Now my dad is my biggest.
Now, but we grow up with engineer, doctor, banker.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But he had told me, he's like, I want you to be in a position where it's secure. I want people to come to you. I don't want you to keep running for opportunities, which is right. And now we'll talk about this later. So that was completely out of the question. I did finance. I excelled in finance, whatnot, and then after I got married and got kids, I remember there was one call that I made to, I think he was a 65-year-old client. And I told him MR stock was going down and it was time for him to buy. And the man started crying on the phone. I'm like, had it like, why are you crying, whatever. And he's like, I lost all my money with you guys. You guys are gambling, da-da-da, 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 da-da. And I remember I went to the bathroom and I started crying and I just looked at myself in the mirror and thought, I preach that I want to be a philanthropist, and here I am, gambling with people's money. So I went to my CEO and I said, we need to start a CSR department. Like, we need to do something, give back to the community. He said, here's the budget, do your thing. I headed the CSR department for a while, and I went to work with a national charity school, and I absolutely loved every single day. And that was a wake-up call for me that this is my calling. I was old. I mean, I believe that once you have kids, you're old. You're old because you have. Like, I have friends who are, over 40, and I feel older than them because I have children. The commitment, the responsibility.
You're mature and you're more responsible. Old is a different thing.
Yes, you feel that you're not free anymore.
I get what you're saying, but for me, I feel that children keep me young. It's the opposite.
Maybe.
Insane and crazy.
Because I definitely won't say I feel young. I definitely don't feel young at all. I want to be young, like.
Forever young,
young and beautiful. So that was it, and I just made that decision. Spoke to my husband, and he was supporting me, and I quit.
And was that? I want to know what your mind was like during that time. Let me just remember how to speak English again, and then we can ask that question again. So where was your mind at, in the sense of fear, in the sense of this might not work out, in the sense of...
And I didn't know what I was going to do. I decided that's it.
You didn't have any idea. You were just like, you know what, I'm done with this, but I know there's something else, but let's just see what it is.
Yeah. And the money was really good. The working hours were amazing. It was just a perfect job at the time. And I quit not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I had a calling.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to do what I want to do. So I want to be an MC. I want to host events. And I remember I called a friend of mine who I went to, like, she was my friend through university, and she used to MC when we were much younger, like kids events and whatever. Yeah. I called her up and I said, hey, it's been so long. I really want to MC. Can you give me some tips? And she's like, listen, can I call you back? I'm like, okay, typical. Women are not going to help each other. 2 weeks later, she calls me up and she's like, sorry, I didn't get back to you. Listen, there's an event happening this weekend in Abu Dhabi in a super dodgy mall. The pay was really horrible. Nothing, like absolutely nothing. Do you want to take it? I was like, yeah, I'm going to take it. And I remember I took my family and we went to Abu Dhabi because my mom lives there. Okay. And I remember we were having lunch and I'm like to my mom, I'm going later. She's like, which mall? And my mom just looked at me and she's like, you were a VP. Yeah. And now you're going to go stand in the middle of the mall.
Lotus biscuits, get them at Lulu. Here's 10% discount. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And she's like, get out of my house. And it was just super, like, it was not a good moment.
What, as in really? Get out of my house.
Like she's like, I can't. She's like, I'm not going to come attend or whatever.
I just can't with you.
I just can't with you. Yeah. Whatever. And then I went there and my husband came and supported me and the kids and I did really well. I'll never forget.
Sold a lot of biscuits.
Sold a lot of biscuits, gave a lot of prizes, got a lot of people. Yeah. And then they liked me so much, they asked me to come again and again, and I just went. And I remember then I would put pictures on Instagram. I would not say where I am, but I would put myself with the mic, MC, and then just the word spread. And alhamdulillah, I have a lot of friends, and I was born here. Yeah. And it's just from one person, word of mouth, yes. Yeah. And then it just kicked off, I think.
So what was your first gig where you were like, oh yeah, this is life now? Apart from Lotus.
First, I'm trying to think.
Can't be that special of a time for you.
No, because there's a few.
Okay.
But there was one that really kicked off. So kicked off my career for me, my career also, it's Egypt. I was never someone in Egypt. I never went to Egypt, just for a few days here and there. I hosted the Guna squash tournament. I remember the CEO, Amr Mansi, and I want to say thank you to him. So he called a friend of mine, her name is Hiba, and he wanted someone else. There was another MC that he wanted. And she's like, wait a second, I have a friend who's just starting and she's really good. So he called me up and they gave me a chance, and I went for 10 days. Wow. And I remember actually when they called me and they told me how much they were going to pay me, I was like, no. So I called my dad and I said, yeah, they called me from Egypt. He's like, if it was for free,
do it.
You do this. This is squash. This is Egypt. This is this. And I went and I did it, and it was
actually pronounced squish in Egypt.
No, it's not.
Squish.
Shut up.
Drop squish. And you went, and it was
phenomenal.
Because when the thing is, what a lot of us don't realize, because from the diaspora and we're not really kind of connected to where we're from.
Yeah.
Is that they're not like the US and the UK and stuff. Like it's like India, China, those people that once you kind of break out there, the whole country kind of supports you, and especially they like the fact that you're somewhere else but you're kind of repping Egypt kind of thing.
Yes, and I have felt so much love. I mean, I don't know if you've ever hosted an event, but it really matters what the energy you feel from the crowd. You feed on it.
It's like stand-up comedy. It's like all the kind of those kind of things. Yeah.
And the love I felt. I mean, it was such a big crowd and a lot of very important people. Yeah. But just looking into the eyes of the audience, and I felt their energy. I feel so much love in Egypt.
I'm doing this as well. Like I'm making these people feel this way.
I love Egypt. I love Egypt. I love Egyptians. I love.
Yeah, me too. I spent a lot of time, a lot of summers in Egypt. Yeah, every summer I was in Egypt.
Oh, really?
Growing up, yeah.
ساحل؟
إيه؟
ساحل؟
كله ساحل مارينا مصر القاهرة اسكندرية
so you're better
6
than me.
أكتوبر
You're better than
ساحل
me.
شمالي go with the dolphins. Yeah.
Dolphins are in Guna.
People get
okay.
Well, I didn't say I go with the dolphins was a separate statement. Okay. But I think people get very kind of like shocked when they see me speaking in an Egyptian kind of dialect.
Yeah,
because
I was shocked.
Already I look like Albanian or whatever.
Yes. I was shocked, but I just thought it was funny.
That was a joke. I would say Spanish or Italian. Okay,
no, Albanian. I'll go with
so when they hear me speaking Arabic, like I've literally had people go whoa like that in the first place. But when I speak to Egyptian, they get so happy when they see that like أنا بكلم مصري يعني they're always like أنت من مصر أنت مصري.
I love
Do you know
that.
what I mean? And it's just like that connection with them, because I mean Egyptians already are a different type of people. Like their level of ما أعرفش أقولها إزاي يعني their level
دمنا
of
خفيف قلبنا طيب
they're very kind of like
hospitable.
I mean not everyone in the world sees them like that.
But, why? They don't know us.
But they're very kind of like caution to the wind. خلاص, don't worry, let's make a joke out of any situation. You know?
Yes.
So I warmed to that a lot when I was growing up, and it's
crazy. How does my hair look under the thing? Is it fine?
Well, I was gonna say when you came in that you
did
late.
actually
you were late, and I thought that you were going to be late for a reason, but apparently you just got out of bed in the clothes you were wearing yesterday and just drove
I worked out. The minute I walked in, he looks at me, he says, is that you're late? And this is how
she walked in and I was like, oh, so it's Instagram filters. That's what's going on. No, not at all. So coming from somebody who's an MC and an interviewer, how was my interview technique? Apart from really rude brush and not very confident.
Do you want me to?
No, I actually want to.
Do you want to come back?
I mean, do you want me to wait till the end of the interview and then ask you again? Or
the thing is, I'm a nice person, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, anyone that says that.
I mean, it's your show, so
it's like somebody going, "I'm spiritual." Yeah, you didn't have to tell me that. If you were spiritual, you would have just not told me that. Yeah.
It's your show, so do whatever works for you. Okay. Whatever rocks your boat.
Great, I will.
Yeah.
So you did that with the NBC, and you did other interviews with people, and I know that you've interviewed a lot of people with traumas and this kind of stuff.
Yes. Elevate with Enjy.
Elevate. Did my research.
Yes, you did.
So let's talk about Elevate with Enjy.
So Elevate with Enjy.
But by the way, I'll stop you there. If any of these questions have been asked before, which I'm assuming that you're answering the same questions that everyone's asked, I want you to give me an answer that you haven't given before. So give me the deeper
already did something
answer.
before. Like I don't even know what's going to happen with this, what I just said earlier. Elevate with Enjy. Actually, I haven't had any interview after Elevate with Enjy. So Elevate with Enjy was a dream project. Is that I meet so many different people, and they have extremely incredible stories that no one knows about. And I felt there are so many, everything you watch is always someone interviewing a famous person. Although I can hear back noise.
Yeah, that's fine. There's somebody just moving something
there. Is it going to come in our audio?
No.
Okay. And I just felt I need to be able to give these women a platform.
Yeah.
Because once you know that someone's been through a traumatic experience and they've come out of that and actually did something incredible with their lives, it just indirectly or directly, it just gives you hope and makes you feel better, like stronger. And for the longest time, so I wanted to do this on TV, and I just couldn't get anywhere with it. And then I found someone that believed in my idea. His name is Khalid Masri. He had like a production company.
Where's he from?
He's Egyptian. See? Stop it. Listen,
that was for somebody who knows the chemical formula for fire. That was a pretty slow reaction.
I just want to say I've only slept for 3 hours. Okay. So please, you can tell from my voice.
I have 3-year-old twins. That's my every night.
No, it's very different. I have kids as well, and I know that 3 hours that I slept are not the same 3 hours you sleep when you have twins. Okay, because you're in bed and you're moving and. Anyway, moving on.
And there is the fire of the chemical formula that comes out. Okay.
So we did that, and then after COVID, he had to move back to Egypt. So the project is
halted for now.
Is halted for now, unfortunately, until I can relaunch.
And what was which story sticks out to you the most?
So the story that I actually started with, because it is a friend of mine, and Danny Wilson. You want me to say the story?
Okay. Long story short.
Yeah. Okay, long story, because the details is what makes it
just tell me the details.
So
no backstory, just loads of random details.
So this woman, her and her husband are incredible people, and they adopted a baby from Pakistan. Her husband's from Pakistan. Obviously, so the details are in the adoption process and how long it takes and whatnot. They bring the baby to Dubai, and they take her to a doctor where he does the checkup, and he knows that there is something that's not done in Pakistan. However, he lets it go. Long story short, the baby dies after a month. All right, and those 17 days of suffering for both Danny and her husband and the baby. They don't know why she's dying. Then they find out that she has an autoimmune disease where basically she cannot have lactose. So the milk that they've been giving her, that the doctor recommended she ups the doses, has been killing her, where it could have been very easily prevented if she just got lactose-free milk. And the reason why they didn't know that is because she didn't do the heel prick test, which is mandatory in all the countries all around the world, except in Pakistan because they cannot afford it. This woman went, I believe, Denmark after that, and she was able to get a $500,000 machine for free and started her own foundation in Pakistan, where she's tested over 40,000 kids, babies, and has helped so many parents. Like there was another couple there, apparently they had four babies and every baby died. And they didn't know what was the problem. Then they found out with this heel prick test that because they're related, they cannot have babies together. So either you stop trying or you get you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the story is so beautiful because there's so many, she adopted another child and then she got pregnant with twins and she got a miracle, and it's just a beautiful story.
That is a beautiful story. Yeah. And when you're kind of hearing that, do you kind of look at your life and go, I was complaining about the way my Gucci laces were tying up the other day, and
I would never do that in my life.
Yeah, only because they don't have laces.
Exactly, but my Dior ones do.
Yeah, exactly.
It just, I won't say, this woman, when you see her, she's been through so much emotionally, and
you wouldn't tell.
You cannot tell.
Yeah.
And so many other stories. I have a lot of incredible stories.
Yeah. Is there a link for that we can put into the description? Where people can
yes, definitely. but just have a box of tissues right next to you when you do it, because it's very emotional the way they say the stories.
I mean, I love all of that kind of stuff. I'm really sensitive. It's so weird.
Yeah,
like,
your eyes sort of like teared up a bit when I was saying the story.
I cry during cartoons.
What's your star sign?
Leo.
Oh, how you doing?
Yeah. Okay. So, but whenever I see stuff like, when it's like, man helps homeless man or whatever, he gives him this or that or whatever, I just start crying. I'm like, and it's only a 1-minute video on Instagram, and I'm just like, I need to man up a bit. And then I'm like, no, I don't need to man up. I love the world and these beautiful little things, and I'll keep crying as long as no one else isn't doing to see me do it.
But now, God knows how many people are.
Dude, I cried on this show before.
No way.
I was doing, do you know Nick Watson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him personally.
Team Angel. When he was telling the kind of his story and his journey with.
So I need to make you cry. Let me think.
I almost did when you came in. I saw how you got ready for today's shoot, but that's neither here from there. So you live. Let me give you a break for that sinking.
Look, I felt like shit leaving the house because I didn't get my hair done.
It's true.
So I already am very
saw your face
uncomfortable
in a crowded place. I don't know what to...
Okay, moving on. Let's go.
So,
because we need to go die on that plane.
Yeah,
oh my God,
we'll get die on that plane. Well, you are, because you're going first. You live the most perfect life. Let me finish. On Instagram. Now, how do you deal with the people who think, because obviously nobody really, or the majority of people don't post anything negative on Instagram, so they post the most positive parts of the day, they post their most nicest pictures, the great aspects of their life. So what would your reply to be to someone who says, well, you've got nothing to complain about, you live a perfect life, you have 2 healthy kids, a husband, nice house, everything's, where's the distinction between, well, no, people need to know that,
Funny you say that, is because I've actually said that many, many times on my Instagram. Actually, last New Year's, I did, when I was wishing everyone Happy New Year, because everybody on Instagram were posting my achievements in 2019. And I know a lot of people that lost their jobs, and I know a lot of people that lost people they love. So I came out and I said, congratulations to everyone that's posting their achievements. But you guys, and I'm telling my Instagram family that no one is going to post their failures, and you guys have to understand that we take pictures of our happy moments. We will never put I'll never put my son screaming and cussing at me. I'll put him saying rapping. So I constantly find a way to say that to on my Instagram, is what you see is not the full truth. But as well, I also post things that I mean, in my older house, I lived in quite an old house before that I didn't renovate, and if it was messy, if it was dirty, if it was, and I'd actually people say, "Oh my God, your house is so ugly." I'm like, "I know, and I'm moving out," but wait, the garden's really pretty. I post I post my kids with their, they had food on their t-shirts, and my husband would even tell me, "And at least if you're gonna post them, let them wear." I'm like, "No, but this is life. This is life. I'm on the plane. I don't always fly business class. I would post the economy. Like I always dress super down to earth, and people relate to me. I feel and I heard that I don't portray personally a perfect life. Okay. I'm always putting it out there. Now, obviously, you have the completely other end of the spectrum with completely different caliber of people that are not within our community. That actually someone once came and he was very abusive on social media. And I realized later that this person lives in a tent.
Wow. Keyboard warrior.
Like he's, it's obviously a person like that would see me and think, oh my God. And you forget that once you're out there and you're a public profile, you will cater to a huge array of people. And you need to just live with it. Live with it. But
I totally understand, because I also thought there was something that I wanted to do before while I was still into Instagram. I mean, I changed my profiles and everything, and this is the only profile I have for the podcast now. But I thought I was like, it would be interesting to open a profile and just put whatever's happening on there. Like literally never retake a picture. So whatever the first picture was, however it came out,
Yeah.
You know, if there's sleep in my eye or if there's a bogey in my nose or whatever, just
But
whatever picture.
But why would you take a picture with?
No. Well, you know, in some parts of the world, that's a delicacy, you know. But like to just literally put things how they are. Never retake a second picture. So whatever your first picture is of that attempt, that's what you put up, and that is as real to life as you could possibly be.
Oh my god!
Do you know what I mean?
Let's do that. Let's do it like for a week.
Shall we?
Yeah.
We'll open a new profile.
No. We'll just do like a week. I'm not gonna open a new profile.
No, this is a business now.
Okay, we can.
We have sponsors and stuff now.
Oh, really? Let's do it.
Yes, we have My the White Water sponsoring Sleep in Your Eye.
Masafi.
Yeah, there's a bit of a conflict of interest there. Okay, so here's another thing. Obviously, you're into the glamorous life, as in keeping up appearances and looking nice and blah, blah, blah. Does that affect you mentally in regards to, I have to always keep up looking a certain way?
No, I love that shit.
You love that. It's not a I have to always have this on, I have to always be wearing this, I have to. You're genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, because a lot of people, once they start something on Instagram, they kind of get that, again, I have to maintain this or I have to keep it up.
The only thing that I feel pressured with is posting a picture every day.
Yeah.
For me.
That's what got me. I was just like, for who, man? I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
you're not getting one today.
That's for me. Like, and I feel like, okay, I'm posting a picture of myself. What is that going to add to you?
Yeah.
I want to give you content, and then I put something that I'm talking or something about charity, and I get no engagement. I'm like, okay, so you want a picture of me?
That's
what
the
do you
thing.
want? What do you want?
That was the weirdest thing. I would say the most, profound thing on my Instagram, and then it would get like, I don't know, 300-400 likes. Then I'd post a baby oil picture of my abs, and it would get thousands of likes, and I'm just like, why? Come on, guys, come on.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Exactly. And I remember the first time I ever posted like a bikini picture, and I got so many. It was like, and I'm like, is everyone a perv on my Instagram? And
yes, to answer your question, yes.
And then my friends were like, no, women are sending it to each other and saying app goals. I'm like, oh.
With all the pervs.
With all the pervs too.
Because I'm sure if you looked at alerts, it would be man. Women sending it to a friend. Man. Women not sending it to a friend but liking it. Man. Yeah, exactly.
Actually, a hairdresser told me that he was once, he's like in a span of a week, I had different women. Yeah. I was doing their hair and I could see her picture and they're zooming into the apps. Like, did they like it? Did they screenshot it and send it to their friend? I'm like, freaking like it.
I want you to screenshot their screenshot and then send it to me.
So the only pressure I feel is the fact that I have to post something every day to keep it going and to be relevant, because I don't like to. I'm not a very private person. Yeah. However, when I'm enjoying the moment, I will not film. So it's
a weird situation, right? Where it's like I want to film this, but I don't want to lose it. So I need to either hire a photographer who follows me around, because I've always thought of that with my kids and stuff. So many moments that I want to have fun with them in the moment, but then I also want to film it because I want them to watch it or watch it later. Exactly. And then I'm stuck in this middle kind of frame, like, do it again, no, don't do it again,
exactly.
no, do it. Yeah,
so exactly. It's like, and I also realize I'm always, and I was telling my husband, I'm not going to say my husband also, I'm Ziad. Yeah. I was telling Ziad, all the videos I have of the kids are of the kids. Yeah. I want a video of me and the kids. I want them to see that I was a cool mom. I would go with them on the rides. I would do these things.
This is what I told my wife. I was like, do you notice that all the videos you send me are just the kids, and all the ones I send you, I prop the phone somewhere and I just kind of do it because I want them to look back and be able to watch it and see me with them as well as just videos.
I should do that. I just need to get the right angle.
Prop it and record. That's it.
I think I want to do that. Yeah. So that's the only pressure. But being, as you said, glam or what, my job requires a lot of glam in terms of red carpets and stage. So I really love that aspect, because I also love the fact that I'm a mom during the day and I can be in flats and denims. And
because some people, like, for them it's not easy, because unlike us, like a famous philosopher, Beyonce said, I woke up like this. So for them it's a lot of effort for them to kind of get to that stage. So it's a big part of their life, and like you said, you doing it for this stuff, there's a lot of people who have nothing going for them, but they're still constantly chasing that on Instagram and that. So I can imagine for them it's mentally like
draining.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's 2 questions, because we're I'm really
Sorry,
fine.
speaking of Beyonce, I remember when I was pregnant. Sorry, it's off topic completely, but just
I'm sure it's really, really important.
It's very funny.
Much better than the next question
It's
I was
going to say a lot
you.
about my character. Okay. We were in the car. I was pregnant, and Bootylicious comes on, and I start crying. Why? And crying, and like.
Did you feel like you weren't bootylicious anymore? What you're
exactly what? Yeah, that's exactly. So Zed was like, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" Like,
I'm not bootylicious.
And he's like, "Are you crying because you're no longer bootylicious?" I'm like,
I like that. Did he film it?
No.
He should have. You should have had that. You should have had the little guy in the back, just like, cut, go. If you could have one question answered, any question that you want in life, through your experience, through your dreams, through whatever you want to know, one question you could answer, and you would get the definite answer to it. What would it be? We'll get back to my interview techniques after you answered this one.
Oh my god. Okay, wait.
One question. I don't want any. You ask me the question, because like the genie in Aladdin, I will answer your question for you. No. But if it was just one question, you have one question, and you get the answer to it.
Okay, can I think about it one sec? One sec, because I have a lot of questions.
There's one question. Okay, you're a star, but you're not getting better treatment than everyone else.
Everyone answers immediately?
No, you get one question. Imagine you are now faced with a genie. You don't get 3 wishes, because it's the other genie.
Yeah, so it's a question, not a wish. There's a very big difference. So genies make your wishes come true.
Let's just go back to the Benga. Did you hear me say wish at any time of this question?
So why is there a genie?
I just thought a genie would be cool to have in the picture.
No, then maybe like
a wizard with a big beard.
Yeah, exactly, like a basara.
You shall not pass.
Psychic, fortune teller.
But before you don't pass, what is the question you want answered?
Fortune teller. Okay, fortune teller, right?
One question.
Okay, stop
Just
stressing me.
one question.
Like, do I have to be diplomatic and make it about my kids?
No, I want you to know. I want to know. You literally have one question. You've been given a choice.
Am I going to act or not?
Wow. That was the question that you asked. Of all the secrets of life, from the beginning of time till now, the answer you wanted to know is, will I be an actress or not?
That's been my birthday. So I blew 7 cakes.
Okay.
I mean, that didn't...
Yeah.
Like candles. I had 7.
Yeah, I will edit. Don't worry.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Yeah.
I did that 7 times.
Didn't make any better, but yeah. Okay.
And it was all like, please, I want to act. God, please, I want to act. God, please, I want to act.
Were you asking in an Indian deity? Why the accent? Please, God, I want to act. Come on, boss.
Please, God.
Come on, boss, help me out.
No, I'm just joking. My question would
be... No, that was your question. Don't try and make it better.
Come on. Please. I just had to put it out there, just in case there's any casting directors watching. Okay.
Let me rephrase this.
Call me.
You want to act, don't worry, I call anyone after
Spielberg.
You. Yeah. This question...
Yeah.
I don't think you understand the magnitude of what I'm asking.
No, I know.
Any single thing you would want to know the answer to in the whole of the existence of time to now. Not since Hollywood.
I don't want to answer. I don't want an answer to any question.
Really?
I don't.
Okay, I think that's partly because you realize how dumb your first one was, and partly because you can't think of another one to ask now.
No, because I remember I was actually at a friend's party a few days ago, and the card that, we were playing a game, and the card that came out, if you want to change anything about your life, what would it be?
Okay.
And I said, and I was thinking, I was like, I don't want to change anything about my life. And I love living life not knowing what's going to happen next.
Okay.
Like someone once told me, what would you do if you knew, would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die?
Yeah. I'd want to know if I was acting before I died.
Or during.
Okay, fine. Since you brought that up, let's lead that to the question that I ask at the end of every podcast.
Oh, we're done already?
Yeah, we're almost 50 minutes. What? Yeah, time flies when you're with a really, really cool guy.
Oh.
What happens when you die?
You're late.
Pretty good question to ask when you have the gift of questions and getting answers to. So what happens the second you die? I don't mean what happens to your family. What happens?
Everybody's gonna cry.
No, forget about the world. I'm talking to you personally, individually. What's gonna happen?
So I think that's why I'm so scared of death. It's because
I think about it every day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Lights out.
I don't believe in the soul. Okay. I don't believe in that. I think I believe, like, I think, and that's why I've been so scared of reading Quran lately, is that azab al-qabr wa azab and all I think
Why
of,
would that make you more scared of it?
because
Surely that would make you go, I better stop bloody reading.
yeah, but it just makes me so scared that while I'm laying in the grave, I'm going to be beaten with,
But do you believe that or no? I know this is a sensitive question.
Yes,
Okay.
but I think growing up, that's what's been engraved in my mind.
Okay.
It's not a question of belief or not. It's just a question of what I've learned and what I have right there.
Okay.
I want to question it, and I want to believe otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm not in
But
this.
you think lights out, done. That's
Lights
the end
out,
of
done.
it. Black.
And then you go to hell.
You go to hell. But then that's not.
And you burn.
No, see, but
many times, over and over.
See,
and
I can't
over,
tell if you're being serious.
And over again.
No, but do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't believe it's lights out black. You believe that there's something else
Yeah,
after.
yeah. Lights
this
out
is what
black
I mean.
there. Yeah. Lights out black and then up.
Inshallah.
See, I'm getting so
because we're going up today, and if the engine fails, we'll be going down after that too. So it's kind of like no, but like so you believe, but then you're saying you don't believe in a soul, but you believe in heaven
and hell.
So who's going to hell? Your Fendi bag? If it's not your soul?
No, but I mean, the soul doesn't stay around us and sees
ghosts,
the people they
not
love.
Ghosts and walking around.
No, like and reincarnation, and it takes. No, I don't. For
this
me,
is the point,
you're out of earth. Like you're no longer
but
here.
you believe that there is something after.
Yes, I mean
you
that's
don't
my
believe
religion. My religion. That's what I've been taught. Again, I remember when I was.
But do you believe that?
Yes, I'll tell you something. When I was younger, I had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked my dad. I'm like, but this, but. And my dad was like, can you hear anything that's in the other building? I'm like, no. He's like, can you see beyond this wall? He's like, your mind also has limits. You as you may think your mind's limitless. So just don't. Don't think too far.
Just follow the instructions given in
Just
this
follow
book.
the manual.
And
I grew up. This is what I've been told. This is what I'm going to believe.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. I'm going to go to the grave. I'm going to be under, in the grave, and then I'm going to go up to God and. You'll
be judged for.
You'll be going to be
for your philanthropy.
Just talking about it, I'm sweating. I'm stressing out.
To be fair, of all the things that you've done bad in life, you're not going to get judged as bad as the way you came into the studio today.
Oh my God! Can you get over it already? I'm not going with you on the plane.
You're not. You're going by yourself, and that's nothing you should worry about.
And I'm not even going. I'm going home to fix my hair,
and then come back to the plane.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's. I think it's a strange subject, and like I said, I think about it every day, but not in a way that it cripples me, and I'm like, kind of thing. But I think it's the coolest thing ever. In a sense, I mean, the concept, in a sense that from the beginning of time till now, not one person has been able. Yeah, I think if it's all true and everything, nice little game we're playing here. Like, do you know what I mean?
No,
it is.
It's scary.
It's very scary.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hope it was lights out completely. But again, you also, for people that are going to heaven. It's beautiful to know that you're going to reunite with your loved ones in heaven and be the same age.
What age?
You're going to be in your 30s.
In your 30s?
Yeah.
But I thought you don't like 30s.
I'm not going to heaven.
So you're just going to get 60 in hell. Are you also a 30-year-old in hell?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
nobody told me.
Like
they didn't tell me.
You will be in your 30s.
And you're going to drink
what about
from
hell?
the river of
Yeah, don't ask about hell. Why are you asking about hell? You have some plans to do something wrong or not? Why you want to know so much?
What have you been doing? Where were you last night?
I've realized you've had 10 questions. 9 of them have been about hell and 1 about heaven. This kind of shows me the trajectory your life is going to take. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what can you do? So, I mean, I wish it could be longer.
Yeah, me too.
It could have been longer.
If you came. I was literally 10 minutes late.
You were 18 minutes late. If you came on time.
I'm going to check my Uber now.
It could have been longer. Yeah. But there's always time for part 2. I'll invite you back. Before we leave, how was my interview technique?
It's good.
For somebody that wants a lot of reassurance and positiveness, don't give much out, do you?
How on earth do you want me to give you any reassurance after all what you've put me through? You made fun of the way I look. You made fun of the way I speak. You made fun of the way I think. And you're going to go and put me on a plane.
Put you on a plane with an engine
with
stalled.
an engine that's yeah, and then why? And the way you said it on the phone, ever so lightly. I have a friend who's a pilot. Blah, 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 you wanna go? Oh yes.
Yeah. And now you get
And
here, and
now
I'm just like, oh yeah, by the way,
he's
the
an
engine
astronaut,
stops,
and the engine's gonna stop, and you're gonna go down, and you're gonna flip right.
It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna thank me. Like as soon as you land, you're gonna be like, this was the most amazing experience ever, and also the plane ride was cool. Guys, it's been an amazing episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And also don't forget to Jibber with Jabber. Would you like to tell them to Jibber with Jabber?
Jibber with Jabber and elevate with Enjy.
Yeah! Boom.